All right, so now we are here on our Google Ads media plan. So the usual process that we have inside the agency is something like this. So I would review the media plan starting by the company information. So I will look at the brand messaging that's been provided, their advertising messaging, and also what are the products or service that will be advertised. So in this context, we have online guitar lesson for M. Dantes, and we're gonna be promoting their guitar lessons for kids. So the next part of the process is I will review the customer persona and the keywords that we have for this campaign. So over here sa customer persona, I've noticed that we're gonna be targeting parents. These are their pain points, their goals, their tech savviness is also something important to know since this is, an online music school. And also what is our brand positioning. So when you are filling this out for your client or for your business, it's important that you really add a lot of detail, a lot of information, because this is gonna be the key for your ad copy. Because if you don't have enough context here or enough information, you're gonna get generic ad copy that's not unique and that doesn't have a engaging appearance to it. It won't really connect with your users or the people who see your ads. So my advice is put a lot of effort into your customer persona. And then sa customer journey naman, it will help if you refresh your mind a little bit on what's the customer journey for your campaign, for your ads. But for today's lesson, we're going to focus on the keywords. So these have already been segmented by Joanne into ad groups. So if you remember in a previous lesson, one of the best practices when you are creating your Google search ad campaigns is to create ad groups based on keyword themes. So over here we have three. We have one for beginner instruments, tutorial and lessons, and techniques. So what you will do here is you will copy these individual keyword themes or ad groups and paste them into your tab for ad copy. So as you can see here, we have places for three. So I've gone ahead and done that. And then the next step on this tab is to label your campaign name. So here it's Guitar Lessons Kids and your individual ad groups. Then you can also add your links. And then over here, display path, this is basically the URL that shows on your ad. It gives people additional context for the page that they will land on. So it's one of the best practices as well when you're creating your Google search ads is to add a display path because it will increase your CTR and it looks a lot more natural on the search results page. So to give you an example of how that display path looks like, let's open up our other ad copy sheet here. So we came prepared. And I will open this one. And as you can see here, we have this display path. So it's guitar lessons beginners. So how you can write this on your media plan is going to look something like this. So the breakdown for this is you just type in basically what people are going to be landing on. So if your landing page is about guitar lessons, write guitar lessons / beginners. If it's about music lessons, the same thing. Or let's say you have a different product or service. Let's say it's about a contractor in the US and they're promoting their interior design services. Your display path could look something like interior design / near me or that specific location, things like that. You don't have to overthink this too much right now because our focus is going to be on how you write your headlines and descriptions. But I just wanted to touch upon this as well so that you know how to approach this once you start building your ads. So I've added a note here for you to revisit after. So I'm going to talk about something called character limits throughout our lesson. And basically, what that is how long or how short you can write your messaging. And it's very important that you know your character limits for different parts of your Google search ads because if your messaging is too long, it won't work. Basically, you can't use it And if it's too short, it might look awkward in your messaging. So you'll have to strike the right balance. So in terms of your display path, you will have two boxes inside your Google search ad campaign when you're inside Google Ads. And basically, the total character limit for that is 30. So just take note of that. And let's move on with the next part of our lesson today. So, how you can write Google search ads is like this. So, since it's a responsive search ad, it basically means that Google will take all the headlines and descriptions that you have provided and create unique combinations every time. So one of our best practices in IT Create is to write at least, the full 15 headlines and the full 4 descriptions. Now you might be wondering, masyadong madami ba yun? Well, no, because the more messaging you can provide about your product or your service, the better, because it shows that you really know what you're promoting and you're giving the algorithm a lot of different combinations to play with. So that's one of our recommendations na you use a variety. So over here, you have headlines that will be keyword focused, headlines about your features, the benefits of your product or service, your brand messaging as well. So if you have unique taglines, things like that, this is where you can add it. And also your social proof. Like, do you have 5-star reviews, or have you served, over 100 clients, things like that? Or are you an accredited service provider in your particular niche? You can also add that there as well. And also your call to action. Always remember to add your call to action in your headlines. That will depend on your funnel awareness. So is this going to be a top of the funnel campaign, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel? That will really depend. So let's say, for example, if this is a top of the funnel campaign that you're writing for, you might be going towards call to actions like learn more, or if it's a middle of the funnel, and let's say in this context for Endantes, it's a middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and our objective is for people to book a trial. So our call to action here will be book a trial. So that's something that you should also remember. Always include a call to action as well, because the overall goal of your ads is going to get people to take an action, so to click. And for descriptions, you can also apply the same principle with our headlines. So you should have a variation. So you should have a description that talks about your brand, a description that has a call to action, a description that has social proof, brand messaging, features, things like that. Because again, Google will use different combinations. So it would be nice if you have different descriptions as well. Because imagine if you have a description that's just all call to action or all brand messaging, it's going to look boring and it's not going to be quick worthy. So that's one of our tips.